About hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Allah and Jesus share the same mind.
What?
That's what you just said.
Yeah, what's up? I'm
I'm
just
just I'm just messing with you. I know you didn't mean to say that, but
no. My friend is, saying stuff. He's giving an argument.
okay. So I guess my question, and I've run this argument on like I think three or four Muslim like TikTok livers on here. None of them have been able to beat it. So I want to see if you can. Um, so I'll actually grant you that Allah is true. The Prophet Muhammad is indeed the prophet of Allah. Whatever else you want to grant, I'll even grant the Quran is actually the word of God. My argument against Islam is this: even
Mm-hmm.
if all of these things are true,
Mm-hmm.
because of God's nature, He is unique. He is one. There's nothing that is Him. There's nothing that is like Him. By definition, then our understanding of Allah is logical then from the Quran because we won't be able to understand it because we don't have the same mind. We don't have a mind that is like God either. That would make us impossible to understand Allah's nature.
Okay.
And because of that, because there's no analogical predication within Islam, therefore we can't actually understand what the Quran's saying to us. That's the argument.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I didn't quite understand.
Essentially, do you know what
Yeah,
analogical predication is?
yeah,
Do you know what it is?
yeah. And
Well, what is it?
you're saying that Allah did this exist in Islam?
What was that? I didn't hear that last part.
You say that we believe in that in Islam. What's your argument?
What my argument is essentially that with how Tawheed works, analogical
Mm-hmm.
predication is impossible. And if analogical predication is impossible, at least when it comes to Allah, then that means since we don't have a mind that is Allah, obviously because we're not Allah, we're not God. If we don't have a mind that is not that is like Allah, excuse me, if we don't have a mind that is like Allah, that means the only thing that we have is equivocal predication, which means we are not like Allah. And therefore, our knowledge is not like Allah, meaning we can't understand the knowledge of Allah that is contained within the Quran. That's the argument.
I mean, yeah, I agree. What's the issue?
Oh, so then how do you know when what God you're actually worshiping then, if you agree with that?
Yeah, because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says so. Wait, I don't believe that our minds are identical to Allah.
Yeah, and they're
Or
not like Allah either, right?
yeah, we're not like him because yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, yeah.
that means that means
I can say okay. I have a mind, right? I
yeah.
can reason. I have knowledge, right? But Allah's knowledge is far greater than my knowledge. My knowledge is limited, whereas Allah's Subhanahu wa Ta'ala's knowledge is unlimited, right?
Yeah, so I can agree with you, but you would say that at least the reasoning that we use is like Allah, and in
Mm,
which case,
the
in
reason
which
that we use
case,
is like Allah.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is essentially that if Allah wants to spread His word through us, through the Prophet Muhammad and through the Quran, which seems to be the Islamic position, then we should be able to understand the Quran if we're able to use reason like Allah is able to use reason. The thing is then, that
Mhm.
falls under analogical predication. So we can't, even if Allah is true, even if the Quran is true, we still won't be able to understand what's in the Quran. That's the argument.
How aren't we able to understand what's in the Quran when we can
Be-
literally read and
because
what's
our mind, our way of reasoning, our logic is not like Allah.
our mind, our way of reasoning is not like Allah?
Yeah, it's not like Allah. It's not Allah, obviously, because then that would be
Uh-huh.
shirk. But then also because of
No, that's not shirk.
what to say that your mind is Allah's mind. That's shirk.
Yeah, that's not necessarily shirk. Shirk just means associating partners with Allah, right?
Wait. What? Well, you would agree at least though. That's obviously a statement of godhood, right? To say that I have the mind of God.
No, but it's not shirk. It's not wouldn't be considered shirk.
regardless, you would still agree that's
Yeah,
polytheistic,
yeah,
and
yeah,
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 okay,
yeah. It's
okay,
yeah.
okay,
That's just blasphemous. Yes,
okay,
that's
blasphemy.
blasphemy.
Okay, we can agree on that at least. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously we can't say we have the mind of Allah, but then how he dictates that there's nothing like Allah. That means our minds are not like Allah. So then that means all that means is that our mind is not Allah's mind, and our mind is not like Allah's mind. That means whatever knowledge comes out of Allah's mind, because we have no way of understanding it, we have no analogical predication to Allah's mind. Therefore, we can't understand what's coming out of Allah's mind. We can't actually understand the Quran. We can't actually understand the words coming from the Prophet that are Allah's words, etc. That's the argument.
Yeah, sorry, bro, that's a terrible argument.
How is that a terrible argument?
Because we don't believe in analogical predication. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
using
you so
intuition.
then
We don't believe in.
you agree with me then that you can't understand the Quran then.
No, we can understand the Quran with reason, with logical reasoning.
So but
Like we don't
wait.
necessarily have to be. We don't necessarily have to have the same, you know, mind as Allah, right, to understand the Quran because we have reasoning. I don't
But wait,
understand.
is our reasoning like Allah's then?
No, why?
See,
Can you
boom,
tell me
it's
why?
just right there.
Hold on.
Right there.
Can you tell me why? Wait, can you tell me why our reasoning has to be like Allah's reasoning?
Because the Quran is the word of God. Am I correct?
Okay.
Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so that means that the Quran, for it to make sense, has used reasoning, and if it's the word of Allah, that means it has used the reasoning of Allah. Am I correct in saying that?
Okay. No, no, because Allah doesn't reason the way we reason, right? Reasoning
Exactly.
involves. Okay, define reasoning.
Well, you just agreed with me. Allah doesn't reason the way
Yeah, yeah,
we
but
reason.
yes, but
It's
you're using
not
the term
like the way we
reasoning.
reason, right?
I know, but I'm just define reasoning.
I would appeal to the laws of logic.
Okay, define reasoning.
I just did. I said I appeal to the laws of logic. That's
Okay,
what
but
reasoning is.
give me a definition. Definition.
You want the three laws of logic?
Yes, the definition according
Okay,
to.
so the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, the law of the excluded middle.
Okay, so you're saying that Allah uses reason according to this the laws of reason.
Yeah, yeah. So, like for example, when Allah says He is one, that's an appeal to the law of identity.
Okay, yes, okay, but I'm saying by definition, I mean like because reasoning, right, involves processing information, right, to arrive at a conclusion. Would you agree?
Yeah, to an extent.
Okay, which implies a need for reflection,
Yeah,
right?
and my argument, however, is that, for example, of statements of Tawheed in the Quran, like Surah 42:11, which declares Allah is uniquely one, that
Yeah.
requires a reason. That's an appeal to the law of identity, for example. And
Okay.
if
Yes.
yeah, and my argument, since we're going to be using the laws of logic, I'll just point it out that since there's nothing that is a law and there's nothing that is like a law, that means our minds and our reasoning, and our logic and whatever other mental faculties we have are not like Allah's. Therefore, whatever reasoning that Allah puts down in His book, in His message that is delivered to us, we can't understand. That's the argument.
Okay, yeah, like you're wrong because, like I said, right, reasoning implies a need of reflection and figuring things out, right? This is a limitation of created beings
No, no,
wait, hold on, let me just finish.
yeah, yeah.
Who lack complete knowledge or power, right? Allah, however, right, is called Alamin, right? Al Alim, right? The all knowing, and Al Hakim, right? The all wise, right? So his knowledge is absolute and eternal and perfect. So he does not need to rely on reasoning or the deliberation. And
Sure, I
yeah,
can.
I don't look. I don't understand why this
So
is.
I think maybe I misspoke. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I misspoke a little bit when I'm referring to God as using reasoning in the Quran. What I'm saying is He is appealing to the laws of logic in the Quran so that we can make sense of it. That's what I'm saying. The thing is by your by your admission, that we can't actually understand anything even analogically to Allah, to God. Uh, that means any statement of X is like Y doesn't apply. But then at the same
No,
time, yeah,
we can.
that's
No,
analogical
no.
predication.
Listen, we can understand things what that Allah makes clear for us.
Yeah.
Humans appeal to logic and reasoning. That's what I'm saying to reflection, right? We can reflect. So when Allah is saying something, right? We humans can process the information, and this information can you explain to us through the prophet, or verses can be made clear to us. I don't understand how this is even an issue.
Well, the issue is it's an epistemological issue essentially, and you know what epistemology means, right? Before,
Yeah, yeah,
okay. I just want to make sure. Um, Essentially, the issue is by your own admission, analogical predication doesn't apply to a law. So whatever true knowledge that comes from a law, even if it is objectively true, because we don't have the mind like a law, we won't be able to reason it. We won't be able to understand it. Is essentially the argument.
yeah. Mm.
And by
Yeah, I don't know.
and the further add on to this, you also brought up that Allah is all knowing, all wise. You can also throw all powerful, um, all merciful, whatever other titles you want to throw on him. Those only make sense with analogical predication because obviously we don't have the mercy of Allah, but we should have the mercy like Allah so we can understand what all merciful means or all wise means or whatever else. So now you are appealing to analogical predication, but earlier you just said analogical predication doesn't apply to a law. That's again, if since you agree with the laws of logic, that violates the law of the excluded middle.
Wait, hold on, one sec. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, okay.
Uh, okay. I don't think this is a good argument, right?
Why?
Because have you actually read the Quran?
Yeah, I've read it. I've read through all of it. Haven't
The
read it in
the
Arabic, I
the
should say, but I've read through all of it.
the entire yo, you speak Arabic?
No. I said I've read it, but I read it in English, not Arabic.
Okay, okay. So I have you read the entire Quran?
Yes, I have. In English,
Okay,
though.
in English. Okay, what does the Quran describe? The Quran describes to be a guidance, right?
I didn't hear the last part. I'm sorry. Can you repeat?
The Quran describes being a guidance to for humanity, correct?
Yeah, you could say that's a guidebook. It's the ultimate authority, essentially.
Hmm. Okay, so Hudan in Arabic. So if it was in Quran, we couldn't understand it. It would not serve its purpose, right? So Allah, in His wisdom, revealed the Quran in a way humans can understand it, right? It uses languages, examples, concepts that are accessible to human minds. Like just like I said, like we humans can reason. So this is supported by verses like I believe Surah Al-Qamar, right?
Mhm.
54:17, where it says, "And we have certainly made the Quran easy for remembrance. So is there any who will remember, right?" So so yeah, that's one of the points,
So,
and also
yeah, finish up.
yeah, and also it's true that human knowledge is limited compared to Allah's infinite knowledge, but this Allah's revelation is tailored to human limitations. So the Quran does not reveal everything about Allah's nature, right? That I agree, right? Because as humans, we cannot fully understand or comprehend, who the nature of Allah, right? How this how we don't go into the philosophy on the howness of God, you know.
Sure.
So so that's why it just provides necessary guidance, right? We don't have to share Allah's same mind to be able to understand the Quran. So it's flawed.
So I would respond with firstly, I agree that the Quran claims to be this guidebook, this authority on what Allah says, what Allah commands, this and that. I agree with you on that, but the thing is that for it to make sense, it then has to use analogical predication, in the sense of Allah, which then violates Tawheed, which is there's nothing like Allah. So by definition, the Quran just violates Tawheed based on that alone. And regardless of that, when he brought up the point of remembrance, remembering something doesn't mean you actually understand it. And I'm sure you've been in grade school. In school, it's obvious. You just have to remember the answer so you can get a 100% on the test, and then you just forget about it after. Because guess what? You don't need to know like super advanced algebra or whatever to live in the real
Bro,
world. Am I
I don't.
correct?
You keep on using an analogical predication, right?
Yeah,
The
that's the
Quran
point
does
of the
not.
argument.
Yeah, yeah. The Quran does not rely on an analogical predication
It
in a
does. It
strict.
does explain
But hold
Allah's
on, hold on,
nature.
hold on, hold on. Look. In a strict, philosophical sense, right? For it to make sense, like define analogical predication.
I just said X is like Y.
No. Give me the actual definition from a dictionary.
I can look it up for you if you want like an actual
Yeah, go
definition.
ahead, go ahead, go
Sure,
ahead.
give me a minute to pull it up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or I can just tell you because an analogical predication just refers to attributing a term to multiple subjects in a way that acknowledges similarity while also respecting differences. For example, when we say Allah is wise and a human is wise, right? The wisdom attributed to Allah is not identical to the human wisdom, but shares conceptual resemblance, right? But analogical predication is common in theology when discussing Allah's attributes to distinguish between His perfection and human limitation, right? So,
yeah, but then the
hold on. So you're saying does the Quran require analogical predication? You're saying yes, right?
yeah, it has to for us to understand. For example, how is Allah all wise, huh? Or how Allah
Okay,
is all merciful.
okay, but it is clear and direct though in its language, right? It is designed to be understood without.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But
I don't
then,
understand.
that violates Tawheed. That's the argument.
How does that violate Tawheed?
Sure. Go to Surah 42:11. You can pull it up where it says that He is unique. There is nobody like Him, and
Have
that's
you?
referring to Allah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you read any single book of Tawheed?
I have some quotes from like Ibn Kathir and such. But
Okay, but
I mean,
Have you actually read the book itself? So
well,
I'm
I mean,
asking.
I don't think I need to read a whole entire book to
Yes,
understand the
you do.
subject. No, you
That's why
don't.
you're getting all things wrong. You do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Alrighty. So
You-
look.
So
There's a
wait.
book.
Let me get this. Let me get this clear. I've already read the entirety of the Quran, at least in English. So maybe there's some things lost in translation. I can agree with you on that, but I can still understand the majority of the message of the Quran. And the Quran is very explicit in its messaging that Allah is unique. There's nothing like Him. There's nothing that is Him besides Him. That's Tawheed.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
That's
No.
Tawheed.
That is.
But
Yes,
wait.
but
So
because
now I have to go to read like Ibn Kathir, Ibn Tamir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We
Oh,
have.
okay.
Look. We have scholars, right, the Salaf who go in details on Tawheed, right? That's why I'm asking you, have you read the book of Tawheed? Like, bro,
I've read. So look, the surah.
because
Excuse me,
hold
the
on,
verse.
because if you read the book of Tawheed, you wouldn't be using this argument in the first place.
So I'm gonna argue back by the specific verse I'm referring to. I've read Ibn Kathir's commentary on it, and it confirms what I said. I know Ibn Kathir in other places said analogical predication is okay, but all that means is now Ibn Kathir is contradicting the Quran. So you can
What?
pull up
Hold on.
you can pull up
Wait,
whatever
hold
it's
on.
yeah.
Wait,
So Surah
repeat that again.
42:11.
Repeat that again. Repeat that again.
So Surah 42:11, and you can read the ending portion of it, where it
Okay.
describes Allah is unique. There is nobody like Him, and then
Okay.
you can read Ibn Kathir's commentary, and he affirms this. And then Ibn Tavir, his teacher,
Who?
actually then I think Ibn Kathir. Let me look it up so I don't butcher the name because I'm horrible by Arabian pronunciation if you can't tell.
Okay. Nice.
Ibn Kathir. I think Ibn Taymiyyah was his teacher. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Nice, bro. So you made a claim you studied Islam, bro.
well, I studied the Quran. That's what I said. And last I checked, the
Okay.
Quran is the cornerstone of Islam. So,
Hmm.
am I incorrect in saying that?
Yeah, as a student.
But wait, what? I'm incorrect in saying that the Quran's the cornerstone of Islam.
I mean, yes, no. You're asking me about Ibn Kathir. I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm talking about the Quran, and I'm pulling this information
Okay.
from the Quran. So, and regardless, though, you can say, "Oh, you haven't read this
Yeah.
book, that
Bring me
book."
the
Do
verse.
it. Yeah, I already said it like 5 times already. Surah 42:11.
No, you mean the quotation of Ibn Taymiyyah. What's the book?
I don't think Ibn Taymiyyah made actual quotations in that specific verse. I'm referring to Ibn Kathir's
Yeah, Ibn Kathir. Yeah,
quotation. Let me give me a
yeah.
minute to pull it up.
Get it because I have the
Dude,
book open.
where are you at? Up Ibn Kathir. I'm using Quran.com, his abridged
Mhm.
uh thing. Let me see if I do. If not, I'll have to pull up Quran.com because that has the full. Oh yeah, there's nothing like him means there is nothing like the creator of these pairs, for he is the unique, self-sufficient master who has no peer and equal. So that's Ibn Kathir's commentary on Surah 42:11. That means that he is unique. That because of that uniqueness, that then excludes analogical predication. So
Oh my days.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh, bro.
what?
Bro. Bro, yeah, that's a terrible
How is that a
argument.
terrible argument? You keep saying it's a
Like
terrible argument,
when,
but you haven't done anything
look,
to disprove it.
look. When I explained everything, like, did you actually listen?
Yes, I listened to what you said, but it doesn't
Okay,
actually address
did you
the
know? Did you know
central.
that?
It doesn't.
Did you know that even? Yes, it does. It
Yeah.
does. I
Yes.
literally told you that we don't affirm
Analogical
an
predication,
analytical
since
predication
well, some
in a way
Muslims
that you
do.
guys. Oh my days.
Some Muslims do actually affirm analogical predication the way we
No,
do,
we
and
don't.
they're cooked
No, we
too.
don't. No, we
They're
don't. We
cooked
don't
too.
affirm it the way that you think. I literally just explained. I gave you the definition.
Yes, that there's things that I can pull up the definition again because I actually just had it on me.
Yes, because if I quote you Ibn Kathir, right, he says we affirm, right, or just translation, we affirm the attributes as revealed in the Quran and Sunnah without comparing them to human attributes. Bila kayf, right, without asking how. Like I literally told you in the beginning, right. For
Yeah.
example,
So
hold on. Allah's knowledge and wisdom are real, but not comparable to human forms of knowledge or wisdom. Right? He goes on to say that the
yeah.
Quran, right? The Quran ensures comprehension by stating truth in a ways human can grasp, even if the full reality of Allah's essence remains beyond human understanding.
Yeah, but then by the way, but that right there, then that means are these attributes a part of Allah? Are they yes or no? Like him being all wise, all merciful. Are these
No, now you're
attributes part of?
changing topics.
No, I'm
Like
not
this,
changing the topic. I'm not changing the topic. This is relevant because we're talking about the attributes of Allah. Are they part of Allah? Yes or no?
hold
They're
on. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. So, what was your question?
so are these attributes of Allah like him being all merciful, all loving, this and that, all wise? Are they fall under the same definition Tawheed like Allah Himself does?
Yeah, the
Uh,
attributes are part of they are part of Allah's
yeah, they're
essence.
a part of
But,
Allah's essence.
yeah,
Correct, correct.
but they're not. We don't say that they're separate or distinct entities.
No, I'm not making that argument.
Okay, so what's your
So, but
argument?
then by definition, then is that they would also fall under Tawheed, and they would also fall under the uniqueness of Allah, which then would exclude analogical predication
Yeah,
of
this is
those
why I asked
attributes
you. Can
too.
you? That's why. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I asked you to name. Did you read the book of Tawheed? Like we have
I
like
haven't.
literal. They are split into parts. Like it's called the four fundamentals of Tawheed. Do you know them?
Well, I mean, since you're so educated, you can educate me on that. But so far, you haven't done anything at all. And I've
Yeah,
told you
I
I haven't.
don't need to do anything. Your argument is flawed. I don't
No, no,
understand your
no.
argument.
Well, if you have read the book, then you should be able to make the argument from
Okay,
that book against
listen.
me.
Yes, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
And
You're
I
making
told you,
claims. Okay,
no, I've only read the
look.
Quran.
No, no problem. So the third fundamental of Tawheed, right, is called Tawheed al Asma wal Sifat, right? Means the oneness of the names and attributes. If you read this book, it would makes all sense. That's what I'm telling you. Go read the book, and come back with this argument.
What was the book called? I'll actually.
Yeah, just look up the four fundamental principles principles of Tawheed, right? It literally you know discusses, right, the fundamentals of Tawheed, right? One of them is Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, right? Oneness of Lordship. And the second one is oneness of worship. The third one is oneness of the names and the attributes. And then the fourth one is oneness of following the prophets, right? If you read further on the third one, which is the Tawheed al-Asma wal Sifat, right? The oneness of the names of attributes, it literally debunks what you're trying to say.
Okay, okay. Well, then I guess there's either two options we could do. Either A, we can end this conversation now, or B, you can either bring the arguments from that book here and you could debunk it.
No, I want you to go study and then come back.
Sure. I mean, if you don't want to continue discussion, then I'll leave. So,
Eh,
Your
if Suede wants to
argument,
talk.
your argument is just basically saying Allah is the most merciful. We have mercy, therefore we're like Allah. That's what you're saying, basically.
yeah,
But if you
that's
look, yes, if you look right, the mercy of Allah is not like the mercy that we have. So you cannot have a likeness in any way or form,
yeah.
right?
So then
There's no likeness.
that supports
One
the
second.
argument then.
What do you mean?
Well, my whole argument was that, say, for example, Allah is all merciful, correct? We have mercy, therefore we're like Allah, and that we understand mercy. But then you said correctly too that Allah's mercy is not like humans' mercy. It's not like creation's mercy, which then supports the original argument was that because there's no analogical predication, that means statements like
No,
those that are found in the Quran are meaningless to human beings, to creation. That's the argument.
no. Look, I'll give an example. Like Allah is the all hearing. He hears, but that's only in relation to us because time is not subjected to Allah is not subjected to time, right? So you can tell me something, I can hear it, but before I didn't hear it, right? That does not apply to Allah. Everything that we have experienced or do, it's not the same with Allah. There's no such thing as likeness to Allah, right?
Yeah,
Only these things are only in relation to us. These are to explain us who Allah is, but it doesn't mean that we comprehend the full, the fullness of Allah. In that sense, there's nothing like Him. There's no one like Him. Your
yeah.
argument is you know
And what I'm saying is that the argument actually it's an eternal critique. So the argument is granting that what you're saying about Allah is actually it's true. It's true. Whatever. Quran's true. Allah's true. Muhammad's true. Whatever else. The issue though is that let's say even if it is true, we won't be able to actually understand it. So since there's nothing like Allah that includes His attributes, the attributes of Allah are nothing like that of human beings. That means then by definition, that violates analogical predication since there's nothing like it, there's nothing similar to it. That means in Allah, say, is all merciful or Allah is all wise, the wisdom and mercy that humans have and the mercy and wisdom that humans understand is not comparable to Allah's mercy and wisdom. So we won't be able to understand their statements.
yes,
That's
you
the
would
argument.
because the word most merciful, right? It may give you an understanding of the mercy of Allah, but it doesn't explain the fullness, right, of the entirety of the mercy of Allah, because the mercy of Allah is not that like our mercy. Another example, speech of Allah, right? I can speak, but Allah can create through His speech. His speech is not like our speech. Allah can say be and it is. I can say be, but nothing will be there. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
and
So the lack you're trying to make a similarity, but you need to understand that when we say these things, right? These words are are just for us to understand, right? It's not like in I don't know how to explain it. There's no words to even use, right?
well,
So
it's just because it's a
Allah is above.
contradiction. It's a contradiction.
Okay, how is that?
It's
It's
not a
a contradiction
contradiction.
that buries Islam. That's the whole point.
It's not a contradiction. You
How
just
is
don't
that a
understand what
contradiction?
analogical predication is.
No, no,
That's it.
we both agree on what analogical predication is. I ceded to your
Yes, but
definition
it
earlier.
doesn't listen. Like I told you, like if you study the fundamentals of Tawheed, right? If you look into the four principles, right? There's no comparisons of equality in it, right? There's a clear distinction between Allah and His creation.
Yeah, and just because there's an inequality between the two things being compared, it doesn't necessarily exclude analogical predication. What does exclude it,
Yes,
at
it
least
does
in it,
because
no, no, no,
it
let me make
literally
the argument. Let me
defines.
make the argument.
Yes.
Let me make the argument.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I was saying before, just because there's an inequality in the subjects being compared, say for example, a bird flies like an airplane. Obviously, the airplane's a lot more massive, but the bird's alive, right? There's an inequality right there. It doesn't mean that there's a similarity that can't be found. Obviously, both things can fly. Likewise, when you say that Allah is all merciful, that means there is a comparison that's being made here that Allah's mercy is like the mercy of human beings. The issue is that Tawheed directly contradicts analogical predication because there's nothing like Allah. So yes, I could see to you that yes, Allah
Yes,
is
yes,
indeed.
I
Let
agree.
me.
There's nothing like Allah
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
sense
yeah.
that, yeah, in a sense that our mercy is limited, bro. Like I don't understand your argument. Like Allah's mercy, Allah's mercy is far beyond our mercy, right?
So wait. So you say Allah's mercy is
Our mercy is
understandable?
limited, right? Like this argument is not working. I don't know who you cooked, but it's not working. Like I told you,
Well,
just read.
You're trying to
um,
force your interpretation on you. You
Yeah.
I'm
said you're
not
doing.
forcing my
You said
inter.
1 second. 1 second. You said you're doing an internal critique, right?
Yes, this
When
is
we're
a term
telling
critique
you
upon
that this.
Islam.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. When we're telling you that this mercy is above, it's not a likeness, right? You cannot then come to us and say no, it's a likeness. When we're telling you it's not a likeness, right? You say you're doing an internal critique. We're telling you this mercy is not a likeness, and you're saying no, it's a likeness. What?
Yeah, because the only way you're gonna be able to understand it is like, oh wait, this is mercy, right? Am I correct in saying that? Like, oh,
Exactly.
this
So
is mercy.
that's the only
Yeah, yeah.
1 second. That the only way we'd be able to understand it is using the words that we use, but it is not a likeness, right? The mercy that Allah possesses or Allah has, it's not like our mercy, right? It's different. We're telling you. You say you're doing internal critique. You should take what we're telling you for you to do internal critique. If we're telling you this and this is what we believe, you cannot then say no, it's a likeness, right? You have to prove us how it's a likeness.
Well, you just see it by saying the only way we will understand it is by the word mercy. That's what the concept's being
No,
referred
no,
to.
okay.
Let me. He just said what he said. I'm quoting what he
Okay, go
said
ahead, go ahead.
just
Go
now.
ahead.
And the only way we will able to understand, say, mercy, for example, is Allah is referring to mercy and that He's all forgiving, He's all merciful, and the only way we're able to understand that is through analogical predication because wait, we as human beings have mercy. Sure, it's not a perfect mercy, it's not an all forgiving mercy like Allah has, right? But we still have mercy. That's an analogical predication because it's similar. And the thing is as you've stated to me at the beginning of this debate, analogical predication can't apply to Allah because He is unique. He is uniquely one. That is Tawheed. Again, Surah 42:11. I'll keep quoting that at you to support my argument. So therefore, we can't actually understand the attributes of Allah, even if they are 100% true, because of Tawheed.
What? That's why you don't understand what Tawheed is. Like, just go study the book.
Yeah, because I haven't read that specific book. Okay,
Yes. This is why we follow the Salaf, we follow the Prophet, and you don't just blindly follow things, right? The Quran tells us to obey Allah and obey those amongst those in authority amongst you, which are the scholars, right? You could be the leaders, right? So we don't just we're not Christians, bro. So that's
I
why
know you're
I'm
not a
telling
Christian.
you, if you read the fundamental principle of Tawheed, it explains like your argument that you're trying to make. And
So
I'm
I'm
telling you
not.
that Allah's attribute is not identical to, nor similar to human attributes in the sense that they're nearly the same, right? It's literally there. You can get the PDF version.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just it's 250 pages long, roughly, right? Because I just got to download
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know because I have the book. I don't know. Maybe
I
because
mean, was it written by hold up, let me pull it up real quick. Was it written by Dr. Abu Amina Bilal Phillips or Bilal
yeah,
Phillips, excuse me?
yeah.
Okay. So it's a book. So you needed. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, was it actually published in 2005? The Fundamentals of Tawheed.
What did you say?
The book you're citing, was it actually published in 2005?
No, wait. I don't know which one you're reading.
It's called The Fundamentals of Tawheed,
Yeah, it's just
parentheses,
it says
Islamic
it's like
monotheism.
it's just a blue cover, right? It's a blue cover. It says explanation of the three fundamental principles of Islam,
Okay,
right?
I got the wrong one then.
Yeah,
Oops.
it's by Ibn Taymiyyah.
Ibn. Oh, for Ibn Taymiyyah. Do. Oh, okay, I got it now. By Ibn Taymiyyah.
Yeah,
Okay, sure. I mean, I'll read it. Eventually, I have like 10 different books down the list right now, so don't know when
yeah.
I'll be able to.
Hold on. Yeah. Wait,
But
and another one you mentioned is by what's the name again? The first one that you quoted.
Doctor, one, give me a
That
minute. I
yeah,
just
normally it's Abu Amina.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did I? Let me check my history because I got rid of it. No, that's not it. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but okay, I found it. Doctor Abu Amina Bilal Phillips is his
Yeah,
name.
yeah. Yes,
He
I know.
published. Yeah, he published this book in 2005. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, yes.
So, but I don't know if you guys have nothing else. I have nothing else. It's
Yeah, I have nothing else, bro.
all right. Yeah, you have a good one, man. I'll
Yeah,
catch you
you too,
around
bro.
eventually.
Yeah, see you.